My name is Fanae. I am the creative producer of the podcast for Pink Talk. And the guest here today is Mustafa. He's a musician, up and coming um, beat maker, and I call her TeeTee. Other people call her Morticia. What do they call you?
Morticia Parmon.
Morticia Parmon, but I know TeeTee. Okay, and she's running for city council in Winston-Salem. Is in the Northeast Ward, and I'm cheering for her, even though I shouldn't be telling you I should be biased about this one. Okay. And it's going to be Chantel Michelle, and she's the owner of Pink Palace Beauty Bar.
Yes.
Yeah, so first we're going to start off with TeeTee. TeeTee, so tell us exactly what it is, what made you want to do this?
Well, I tell anybody that if you're not gonna be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. So we can sit at home and we can always pinpoint what's wrong, what's going on in our city. And at some point in time, you have to get off the couch and get in the game and help make a difference. So change has always started with one individual who wanted to do something different, to make a difference in something. You know, Dr. King told Rosa Parks, it's better that you walk in dignity than ride in shame. So he made a difference. Malcolm X made a difference in this era, as well as other trailblazers in their era and in their time. But change has to start somewhere.
That's very true. Starts at home. Starts within yourself. So it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that your mother is a politician? That's the reason why you want to run? Okay.
So
it's
not the reason that I want to run. So let's clarify that, because what I have to remind people all the time is, although I grew up in politics and I was able to be amongst some great women and some great men that have served in our local politics as well as our state politics. I grew up seeing different things in life that other people may or may not have had the opportunities to see or even know about. So I was able to experience firsthand government, how government works, how it works as it relates to your household, your job, the different aspects of government. So my mom being the first Black senator of Forsyth County, I was able to also see the work that she had to put in, as well as Evelyn Terry, who's your state representative, as well as Dee Dee Adams, who's your city council person. I remember working on a campaign with Martha Wood, who was our first woman mayor here in Winston-Salem. So with that being embedded in you, you just really want to do right and just give a damn, okay? So at some point in time, when you see things that go on, do you sit back and say, it's not affecting me, that has nothing to do with me? Or do you say, what can I do to help? My mama taught us that you fight for the least of them. You fight for people when they can't fight for themselves. You speak up for people when they can't speak up for themselves. You be that voice.
So basically, you're used to being in that household. We walk that walk. We don't talk that talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what it comes down to in 2020. You're going to have people that's going to come out here and they're going to tell you all of these things. And it's going to sound good and they're going to dress it up for you. But now at this point in time, it's time to put up or shut up. Put your money where your mouth is. And I mean, realistically, when you're looking at an area, and I represent the Northeast Ward, and the way that the lines are set up, so I have some of East Winston as well, and then I have some of North Side.
So what all does it cover? What area does it cover?
So the Northeast Ward consists of 14th Street, and you come all the way down Cleveland. You do all the way out to Rural Hall, where Stanleyville is. I also have like the Patterson area, 25th, Bowen Boulevard, Glen Avenue, Oak Summit, all the way out to Kernersville, where East Forsyth High School is, Box Mountain Road, Motor Road. So it's a large area. I have the largest the largest ward in Winston-Salem. I have 19 precincts to cover. Is it doable? Yes. Can I get the votes that I need to be your next city council representative? Yes, I can.
Oh.
But you have to understand, it's not going to be easy, and I'm not sitting up here tooting my horn. But when you wake up every morning and we look at in 2020, January the 1st, we are looking at another decade. We're looking at a new generation of children that's going to be born. This has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with this young lady sitting beside me or the young man sitting across from me. This has to do with babies and children who walk the streets of Winston-Salem, who go to school right here in Winston-Salem, and babies that's not even been born yet. That's what the concern is. People will tell you, I'm good. My house is good. My bank account is good. But if your neighbor is suffering, then your household is suffering as well. Your community is suffering. If your community is suffering, then the city of Winston-Salem is suffering. We can keep dressing it up. You can put a tutu on it, a bandana, anything you want to do with it. But at the end of the day, we have genuine issues here in the Northeast Ward. I looked up on December 31st. We had a record high from over 25 years of 31 homicides in Winston-Salem
Yeah, I've seen that.
in 2019. That's a problem. It's a systematic problem. That's what people have to understand. It's a lot of things that wasn't broke that we didn't have to revamp. We didn't have to go and change. But the system decided to change it because it was benefiting us. In 1965, they said if a woman had kids and lived in public housing, the father of her children could not live with her. A young man would never know how to be a man if he's never seen a man. When you already have broken up homes, how do you expect these children to come from a sound foundation? When you're talking about our children can't read on a third grade level, when you're talking about our kids who can't read on a third grade level, the system says we already know X amount of children can't read that's black and brown. So we're going to build another prison. And y'all will say, TeeTee, why you talking about school board stuff and education? That ain't got nothing to do with city council. It has a lot to do with city council.
Things that's going on in the school system too, as far as about like especially with funding. Like certain schools have certain funding,
right?
Certain schools don't have certain funding, and is it so happen to school? Well, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
I say it for you. I will say it for you. It's no problem, no issues, no hard feel. I have a great relationship with Morticia Woodbury, who's the school board chair of Winston-Forsyth County School System. So we have had enough dialogue to know what are we trying to implement to try to turn around the 30-plus failing schools that are in our areas that affect our black and brown children. Because what happens is, if you can't read, they build another prison. When they're building this prison, our children are already going to jail at 13, 14, 15 years old. We don't get the same fair break because y'all have to still remember, we're not even considered a whole person. When we get into something, our children have to go down here and stand in front of the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor.
As adults, not as children, but
as adults. Correct. And what that young white guy can get away with, and his lawyers show up and he go home. When we have our young children who can't afford the best attorney, so they got a public defender who don't even know their name. And our babies are sentenced under the old law. Extreme punishment for no reason. For little minute things or bad mistakes that they made as children that will follow them all the way through their adulthood.
You come up with some knowledge tonight, girl.
So I'm telling you, it's not that I just woke up and said...
you're speaking about some very serious issues because me as a mother, I'm concerned about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm raising black kids, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard, especially when your kids are AB honor roll students and something happened and it's like... They're not treated like this is their first situation. They're treated like, oh, you criminal. You know what I'm saying? They make mistakes. But you know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, he came through it.
Right. But at the same time, we can hold the system accountable. And y'all going to look at me and say, what is this woman saying? But we have to hold ourselves accountable as well.
Yeah, because it starts with voting.
Well, outside of if we even starting with voting, it starts at home. It starts in the communities. I remember growing up in Morningside. I lived in Morningside for a very long time. I'm homegrown, right here in Morningside. And if you did something, you got in trouble for it. And before you got home, your mama knew, and you got in trouble again, right? When you came off from school, you knew that it was about studying first. You had to study your books, make sure your homework was done. Somebody had to check it. You had to go with your spelling words. I mean, you had a whole routine on what you done. But it was community. When mama went to work, the neighbor said, you go to work, baby. I'm going to watch your house and your children. Don't worry about that. Something happened where we don't have that anymore. We lost trust in each other. We lost faith in each other. We lost hope in each other. I'm not by far a perfect person. What y'all need to understand is there is a TeeTee. And you know TeeTee. You said that at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have grown from being TeeTee to being Morticia. Why? Because TeeTee made mistakes. TeeTee was reckless. TeeTee was doing some things that didn't line up with the word of God and that I wasn't always proud of. But Morticia learned from them and was able to turn it around and make positive out what it could have been negatives.
Well, I can see you being city council. I really can because you can feel the genuine when you're talking. You know what I'm saying? And I've been knowing you for a long time, and you done took me to a whole nother level. I'm like, I've always, we've always joked around,
Right,
but you
right.
you really bringing up some positive issues, especially when it comes down to our children.
Right, because that's who I'm looking to help. That's who I'm looking to save. That's who I'm looking to provide a future for as it relates to the things that go on. I want to be able to afford people access to the resources that we don't have. This is a race that people have to understand. It's the haves against the have-nots. It's time for the have-nots to get off the table and be able to just flip tables, turn over some chairs. We're going to have to speak up, stand up, and if necessary, act up to be able to make sure we get what we need as it relates to us in our areas. Now, if your house go good, hey, kudos to you. But when you sit around and you look in Winston-Salem, and I'm dead serious, when you look in Winston-Salem and you look at everything that's thriving and everything that's growing and all of this stuff is flourishing and they putting money into all these areas, how do we allow someone to represent us who can't speak up for us and watch us suffer, watch our children die, watch our young men go to prison, watch our young women have to raise these babies by themselves, and a lot of these babies gonna wake up and they gonna grow up and they 15, 16 years old and don't know they daddy. And then they have children and they don't have no grandparent because they already gone. We got to save them. I can't save all of them, but I'm going to save as many of them as I possibly can.
So with that note, I want to see about Mr. Mustafa. He's a young, black, thriving young man, aren't you, Mustafa?
Yes, I am in the process of thriving.
Okay, so what made you start your music?
What made me start was really, I wasn't even an artist or a rapper, so to speak, to begin with. I was just making beats, and I wasn't even making my own beats, to be honest. I was doing remakes. Everybody was just not, it was 2012. I started doing that. People was just like wanting to hear certain instrumentals, and I was on YouTube, and I was like, nobody's making these, so I got to make these. It was just like all the popping songs around 2012, like Drake, Meek Mill, Rico, you know what I'm saying? That was hot. I had people going crazy over that one. And I stopped making beats around like 15, and I had went back to it. My brother had bought me a laptop. My brother-in-law bought me a laptop. I went back. He was like, he was listening to the beat that I had remade, actually. And it was Drake, Lil Wayne, Star 67. And he was like, yo, I've been writing to this remake, you know what I'm saying, this Drake remake or whatever, trying to get this freestyle together. And I'm like,
so how old were you when you started?
12.
12 years old. Okay.
I had I was doing the demo actually.
See, we need more things like this for young ones that are trying to do things, trying to keep them out the streets. You know what I'm saying? So keep them motivated and keep them, their minds occupied. Because if not, you don't give them something to do, they're gonna be out here doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Because there's not a lot of programs for young kids nowadays. I mean, it is, but what about the parents that can't pay for it? You know what I'm saying? We gotta get funding. Things like that.
Not to cut you off,
Yeah.
when you talk about the programs and the funding, y'all have to understand anything that helps Black people, they stop funding. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Go home and ask your parents. Years ago, 1980s, the early 80s, I'm going to say 82, 83, we used to have a street scene. We used to have a Mayfest. We used to have a June Jubilee. We had a skating ring over in Northside Shopping Center. We had things. We had recreation centers, and at the recreation centers, we had double dutch teams, dance teams, basketball teams, tutoring, cooking classes, the life skills that the people needed. So the stuff was there. When they figured out that we were using it, it was keeping us out the street, out of the prisons, and out of trouble, they cut the funding. Go back and do your research. You don't have to fact check me. I'm okay with it.
Oh, I believe
I'm not going to tell you
I believe
anything.
because I've always tried to find things for the kids to do, but sometimes this is not enough. Now we stayed in Charlotte for years, but it's
right.
all kinds of stuff to do down
But
there.
when we're finding things for our children to do, the things that we need to be finding them to do is lifelong things that are going to benefit and help them at the end. Everybody isn't going to go to the military. Everybody isn't going to go to a four-year institution. So we have to be able to tell our young brothers and our young sisters, this is your dream. You follow your dream, but your dream ain't paying your bills right now. So you need to go get you a trade or a skill to get you where you have to be.
I know we went back to school.
So when you go back and get that funding, now you can pour into your dream. I want everybody to dream. I want our children. That's what happened. We stopped our kids from dreaming. We told them that they couldn't be, the architect, or they couldn't be the pilot or the firefighter. And we look at our kids, and we need to stop doing this as well. Black parents, let me tell you, stop telling your children, I'm going to call the police on you. The police coming to get you at 3 and 4 years old. Every time they do something, we quick to say, do I need to call the police? Or the police coming to get you? Because as they get older, it's embedded in their minds, so they already thinking the police is there to hurt me.
I don't
it's
play with my
enemy.
kids like that. I give them that look.
But at the same time, young man's dream, grow. And with your business, I want you to understand, go get you some stuff. I'm going to talk to you offline to help you understand. You can get funding for the very thing that you're doing. But if ain't nobody at the table to tell you, how do you know that?
Right.
How do you know that?
Right.
It's funding for every single thing that you want to do in life. But if nobody is there to give you the access to the resources, because our mamas and daddies don't know the elite crew. We ain't the CEOs and CFOs and COOs of Winston Tower and R.J. Reynolds and Haynes and Smith Reynolds Airport. So we don't get to sit amongst the most elite and get that. But your sister got you.
I do have to speak positive about
you.
R.J. Reynolds. When I first started my first business, they gave me a business grant. So
Right.
I have to really be, they're really good people.
They are, but we don't own R.J. Reynolds, baby.
I know we don't own it.
We have to get our people out the mindset of being long-time renters and being homeowners. We got to get our people out the mindset of wanting to be the borrowers. And we begin to be the lenders.
That's what we're going to say about Chantel. Chantel funded her own business probably from her savings, right? I'm trying to tell you that.
But guess what? She wouldn't have had to do that. Had somebody sat down and told her that it was funding available for her. It's funding available for her. But nobody never came to Chantel and said, baby, let me show you something. We're going to sit down. We're going to work on your business proposal. I'm going to teach you how to go get this grant money, and I'm going to connect you with XYZ to get that grant where that's going to fund your business. Now that she has a business, do this young lady even know that she can go right back down into the city of Winston-Salem and ask for the Rucker loan or the PAL loan? And when you go in to get it, they're going to give you a loan with a low interest rate that you have to pay back in 5 years. And on top of that, they give you a matching grant amount for the same amount that you don't pay back. But our people don't know that. We feel like when our businesses start collapsing, we just got to shut the doors.
Well, that's the overall. My overall goal is to help bridge that gap between businesses and entrepreneurs. Because there's a lot of things that they don't know. So I'm gonna use my networking tools to be able to help.
Right, and a
Like,
business has
you know?
business is just like a person. They got a credit score too. Your business has a credit score.
Yes, it does.
And people don't know that. They just be like, I'm gonna give me a business. I'm gonna form me an LLC and get a business. But I got you. Go ahead, baby. You keep doing your thing. Go ahead. Talk about it. I like music.
Yeah, but
Who inspired you?
I have a lot of inspirations actually. My main inspiration is actually my dad because if I hadn't of 2015 is when I really met / connected with him on a real man-to-man scale as far as music goes and personality-wise. And at first, he wouldn't even let me in the room when they would be doing music at all because I was too young. They had, what I'm saying, they was doing a lot of things behind there that I couldn't really get into at that age. And once I was of age, probably about 17, 16, 17, 18, he was, he brought me into that and I started writing. Because at first I was, like I said, I was doing the beats and I was doing remakes and I didn't know I knew how to create an original beat, but I didn't really dawn on that I had that much talent. I was just remaking the beats that people had already heard. It was just without words on them. So once I got to the point of I got flawless at remaking beats, he was like, I want to hear something that comes from your brain. I want to hear, I want to hear a beat straight out of Mac City's mind. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear something from you. I don't want to hear Drake's beat. I don't want to hear Future's beat. I don't want to hear all these other people. I want to hear something from you. I said, okay. So I started making them and him and his homeboy was rapping on them like all the time. And I didn't know that until he started making CDs, started playing the songs. And I was like, oh, he rapping. They all rapping on my beats. It's crazy. And then once I was listening to him, it was just like, I don't know, it was like a spark. I was just like, I want to write too. I want to see what I can do. Because he was telling me, when you write, it's more than rhymes. It's more than just telling a story. He said, really, it's about how you feel when you write anything, because you can write something on a good day, bad day, depressing day, lit day, whatever.
So what's your next project?
Anything. My next project is going to be called Who's Harder Than Me? And it's dropping sometime early this year, in the next month or two. But it's going to be very nice. It's going to be a nice introduction to the story of Mustafa / Mac City, because it's completely produced by me. And I'm going to be, I'm executive producing everything, I'm shooting music videos to everything, all of that. And it's going to be the full 9. It's going to be the whole 9, like a hot dog. You feel me?
I like that.
Whatever. No.
But,
okay.
I'm going to be releasing beat projects too, because like I said, I'm not just an artist. I started out as a producer. I'm not going to start rapping and just abandon making beats for everybody else like I started off. But I'm going to be releasing beat mixtapes too for other artists and stuff like that. And I'm not taxing like no $100, $200 exclusive lease. You can get the exclusive for $20, probably about $40, depending on how hot the beat is. Because I know I got throwaways and I got stuff that I actually sit down and take time to make. But depending on what it is, it's gonna max you pay for beat about $50 for one beat. Because I don't like taxing people, because people just try to tax me, and I know how it feels. Because you won't get nowhere like that. Because it's more like I said, it's more than music. It's a business side to this too. Because like if you when you up there and you on that platform and you got money to blow, you're not gonna care about spending no $5,000 for no beat or no $10,000 for no beat, because you got it like that. But right now, at this day and age, people still tax you like crazy, like even at my level. Because I'm right now, I can't say I'm nowhere, I'm somewhere, but even at my level, people still tax you like crazy. Like people want hundreds of dollars for beats, and I'm like, no, I'll sit here and learn how to make my own first before I get on this for a couple $100. And then if this track don't go nowhere, I lost out completely, and you just got a couple $100 off me.
That's very true.
But it's a lot of things that people have to understand before they get into music, because a lot of people they sit there, they write some songs, and it can be hot. It can be the hottest song I've ever heard in my life, but they don't have no plan. They go straight to the studio, they record it, and then that's it.
Well, honestly, I don't listen to radio right about now because it's like everybody sound the same.
Yeah.
Y'all please don't be
And
offended
that's
by
what
me
I'm.
saying
That's
that,
what
but I'm
I'm
just
hoping to
saying
change.
there's no genuality, people genuine no more. And they
Right.
talking about all kinds of stuff, what they got. Back then, we was talking about sleeping, falling, getting up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The struggle and everything. But
But my major influences, besides my dad or other people in my family that has done music around me, you got Drake, you got Future, Lil Baby, you got Gunna, you got Meek Mill, Rick Ross. A lot of old influences too, as far as like I'm not gonna say Tupac, Biggie, and all that.
And you
I
got
like
the- you
I like
got the
Method Man,
king
Redman.
of,
I like Nas, I
Winston-Salem
like
in here.
AZ, people like them. I actually do like Mr. Cal. He was nice. I got a lot of influences because I don't have a particular taste in music. I listen to EDM, you know what I'm saying? I can listen to some house party type shit and it's like if it makes sense to me, if I can understand it and it sounds good to me, I will listen to it because like I said, I make beats, so it's not all about just rapping too because I can hear this and probably make a sample out of this, you know what I'm saying? Put it in one of my beats, get the sample cleared, all
I
of
heard an
that.
old beat that you remade. It was one of R. Kelly's, even though he is like the most controversial artist right now. You know what I'm saying? But I was like totally admired by it because you was about like I think about 15 years old when he did that.
I was 15 when I did that.
Like, what you know about R. Kelly? You better cut that
Because
off.
it's music is versatile. I don't feel like just to dawn on that what you just said. I don't feel like music is required a certain age for people to listen to. Like music is music. It's not like whatever you talking about. Like I said, if it makes sense and you can understand it, and if it makes you feel some type of way, if it helps you and it benefits you in life, like
to make you a better person,
use that, utilize it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, music is not about just hopping in the booth, making a song, dropping it, making money off of it. Of course, it's about that to a certain extent, but as far as music as a whole, it's about giving people just good vibes. Because I don't want to backtrack a little bit when I say good vibes. When I say that, I don't want to put myself in I don't want to put myself in one genre of music like trap, drill, R&B, pop, all of that. I don't want to put myself in one genre of music because I can make anything, honestly. I can make a song for my girlfriend sitting right here. I can make a song about my mama sitting right here. I can make a song about my brother sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? I can make a song about anything.
You can make some songs.
And
it will. I done heard some. I was like, what?
And it's just about, like I said, I just want to bring about good vibes. That's all it is. Good vibes.
Okay,
it's not,
all right.
That's my genre of music, you know what I'm saying? Good vibes.
All
I'm bringing
right,
about my own genre. It might sound, you might say it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, you hear a trap beat or whatever, but that's not, it's a whole different spectrum of sound once you hear what I'm talking about in this music. But it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a new experience for everybody.
Your lyrics are really good. Some people just got good beats, whack music, whack lyrics, and I'm just being honest with your beats and your lyrics are really, I can sit down and listen to it. Some of that stuff I can't deal with it.
Yeah, because that adds to, like I said before, my big palette of taste in music, because I don't just sit and listen to rap all day. Like I can, but I just can't do it. You're gonna have to throw some type of R&B in there. You're gonna have to throw some type of something in there. You can't just sit and listen to one genre all day. Because if I do, I'm gonna go crazy.
Listening to it, I'm really looking forward to coming out. And I told you personally, I want you to collaborate with Chop House. I know y'all don't know. I don't know if y'all know about Chop House, but y'all collaborate with them. Okay, Chantel. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and step on over to Miss Chantel because she's looking like she's sleepy over there. It must be the wine. Okay. Okay. All right, Miss Chantel, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the Pink Palace Beauty Bar.
Okay. Hey, my name is Chantel. I am the owner of Pink Palace Beauty Bar. We opened in September, so this is going to be our 4th month. At the Pink Palace, we do nails, eyelashes, facials, back massages. We're looking for a hairstylist too, so we'll be doing hair pretty soon.
Okay. Now, which is one of the goodest services to get?
Did you say the goodest? My girl, go ahead.
I like the lashes personally. I'm not supposed to put my personal opinion, but I'm gonna put my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I like the lashes because she does like different kinds of lashes. She does the one-on-one. I can't do the one-on-one because I wear contacts, but the individuals, I really like those. Yeah, everybody, like, I like your lashes, girl.
Yeah, that's definitely our biggest top seller. A lot of people comes in, schedules appointments, emails, messages, Facebook, trying to get lashes done.
Yeah, because y'all do facials, skincare.
Yeah. We have 2 estheticians there and a nail tech. We're looking for more nail techs because we want to be a full service salon. And right now, with business picking up, we need to start hiring more people.
Okay. I'm excited about that because I went to her grand opening. It was nice, y'all. She had some wine, some cheese, some cupcakes, y'all. It was nice, you know. And it's over there. Where you located at?
We're at 5375 Chatelaine Drive, right there by Ego Beauty Supply and the furniture store.
Okay, now since you do skincare,
Okay.
tell us some beauty secrets. Tell us one of the good things that people like really, as far as like skin people of color, you know, because they think just because we're color, we have, you know,
That's
that we
what I
shouldn't take
thought
care of our skin.
when I got into school. And the biggest misconception that we have is Black people don't need sunscreen. That is a lie. We need sunscreen. And I was like, what y'all talking about? I just throw on some cocoa butter and I'm good.
Yeah, what is that?
Just
SPF
cooking
30?
yourself.
Right.
SPF 30.
Right.
They be putting it out here. Yeah, we need sunscreen because especially after we get the facials and stuff like that, the microderm, it takes
it takes off that first layer of skin. So it's
Yes.
very important that we have sunscreen. So now I'm always slapping sunscreen on my kids as they walking out the door.
Yeah. So besides that, like what is like one of the things that you wish you hadn't did, or you know, just something that you can give to another Black inspired, you know, beauty bar coming up, like a young lady that's interested in doing things like that?
I would tell them to go for their dreams. There's not a project too big that you can't accomplish. So right now, my daughter, she's 10. She said, Mom, I want to be a tattoo artist. And I'm not going to tell her, no, you can't do that. Okay, come on, let's practice. So right now I got her practicing
seen you
on
practicing her with the lashes.
tattoos, and she's doing lashes now. So pretty soon, I say by the end of this year, hopefully, she'll be accomplished doing lashes. And when she graduates school, I can go ahead and get her in esthetician school so she can get her esthetician license, and I can go ahead and pass the business down to her, and I can start on my next project.
They're really building a palace, you know? That is so nice, man. Okay. Okay, what inspired you, or what was it that popped in your head and you knew you wanted to be an esthetician?
Okay. So in 2018, my mom passed. She was killed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my friend, I was in a slump. Like, I did not want to get out the bed. I didn't want to do anything. My friends, they had came and got me, and they took me out. And we got pampered that whole day, and they paid for everything. And it was just so amazing. Like, I felt so comfortable. I felt so at ease. It didn't take the pain away, but I just felt at ease. So I was like, well, if I can make somebody else feel like that, then hey, this is what I'm here to do.
Yes, that's why I say I don't remember meeting a lot of people, but I remember when I first met you, you just had the most welcoming attitude, you know what I'm saying? Because we was at the school and stuff like that, and then some people, you just be like, I'm standing away from them.
I don't feel like talking.
You know what I'm saying? But you just was so welcoming, and you was willing to share that knowledge, and that's the kind of people I tend to navigate towards, because I like people, because whatever I got good going on, I like to share it with other people too.
Exactly.
And you just really welcoming, you know, humble. You know, most pretty girls be.
I like to see everybody winning. I want everybody to win.
Well, I'm very proud of you because I always refer people to you. I even had a friend that drove all the way down here from Charlotte to come get her lashes done.
Oh,
yes, I did. That's what I'm saying. It's good when you got people coming. What was that? 77 miles coming down here to get your lashes done.
Just for lashes. I know I've done it to get my nails done. I supported another young lady who was on Instagram. I drive to Charlotte to go get my nails done.
I know, it's been a while. I love Charlotte. Well, but I got somebody else do my lashes now.
Right, I'm your girl.
But the individuals are really different. I tell anybody wear contacts, those things are different. It's like they the way that when they dry up is something about them. But but the individuals, they really fit better for contact wearers or the
they
strips.
do. They take a long time to apply, but it's worth it. Once you get hooked on the look, it's hard to get away from it.
Yes, they're pretty, but you just they're like, oh, they look so natural, but they hurt. Okay, it's a woman thing, guys. We're sorry. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know nothing about that. But tell them a good service for men. A good service for men.
Back facials. So I have had men come in asking for back facials quite often. And the back facial, because we're estheticians, we can't say we'll give you a back massage because we're not massage therapists. We are estheticians. We can do light tissue massages. So we call them back facials. And basically that's cleansing, toning, exfoliate, and performing a massage on your back.
Yeah, and it feels like super good to your skin. And I think it's good for people too, like when they, like if you're single, you don't have anybody look at your back. Because I know somebody that was diagnosed with melanoma cancer or you know, some kind of skin cancer.
Yeah, and that's
they found a mole in their back because when they went to the esthetician. Yeah. So it's good to have your back diagnosed at least one, I mean, well, not diagnosed, but like looked at once a year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's very helpful. Mm-hmm. And but I like the paraffin wax. You ever had paraffin wax? Oh my God. I'm trying to tell you, your hands could be so rough. And that paraffin wax dip, like it was an esthetician teacher that came in there one time, and she requested the paraffin wax treatment. Her hands were so rough. It was something that she had, some kind of skin disorder she had. I did that paraffin wax treatment, and it made her hands so soft. Yes, that paraffin I'm telling you, it's really good, amazing. And it's really good. Like before going to events and stuff, because it said it plumps your skin. Yeah, it does plump your skin. Really good. Yeah. I want to try, what was that, microderm? I haven't done a microderm. I did a regular facial, but not what is that? Yeah, the microdermabrasion. Yeah, like the extra steps. Yeah, you do, what is that, the ones where we zap the zits and stuff? High frequency. So oh high God. Frequency. Y'all, it look like lightning and hitting your face. It's really, I got to try that. Yeah, I got really like a little zap of electrocution. I'm good. I got cooler skin. You really do. What they say, black don't crack. Right. Beige don't age. Okay. Okay. I know that was whack, y'all. So silly. Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm so happy for you. And if y'all haven't been to Pink Palace, y'all really got to go look at it. It is so cute. It's like got the pink and the silver. It's not really a man's type of atmosphere. I mean, it may be a man's atmosphere, but yeah, I did a couple men facials. When I tell you, they was on that table snoring, knocked out. Yes, I was like, I'm just let them sleep for a little while. Yeah, but you ain't had no crazy. You know. See, we on podcasts. Podcasts are not on the radio, so we can kind of get deep like this. Okay. Have you ever had like any crazy experiences with the men? Well, not with a man, with a woman. What? Yes. So we she had a appointment set up for a Brazilian wax, and for Brazilian, it's like you normally come by yourself, but she brought 4 of her kids, and they little kids, her husband and her mother. And it's her first Brazilian wax. So every time we would remove the wax, she's screaming. And the little boy, he was like, is my mom okay back there? What's going on? He was like 5 years old. I'm like, oh, she's okay, sweetie. Oh, my goodness. Lord. Yeah, Brazilian is really deep. But it's really good because it kind of just gets everything it spruces things up for, like, especially relationship-wise and stuff like that. What? I'm just keeping it real, true. Okay. Like, you want to keep your man? No. Let's get your landscape right. Come on down there, TeeTee. Okay, all right. Okay. There are adolescents in the building, so let me hush. But, I mean, I was just saying.
My anniversary, March 6th.
Okay, I'll make your appointment.
We'll make that Brazilian. Would you like morning or afternoon appointment? Tell them about the designs. Did you hear about the designs that they can do for Brazilian? I heard like they can put hearts and people talk strips and stars, wine glasses, lightning strikes. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's different. Men get them too.
Just throwing it out there, y'all.
Yeah, men do get Brazilian waxes. Yeah, I mean, it was really weird when we was getting trained on. I was
Baby,
like,
don't do that.
Yeah, in
Don't do
school.
that.
yeah,
You don't even feel like you built for that life.
I'm not. I'll humbly say I'm not. I'm not.
it is really good.
You got to be a certain age to be able to do some certain things.
Only type of wax I'm kind of concerned about is if it contains THC. If it don't, if it's not that kind of wax, I don't want it.
Look, I'll
I
pass.
don't really want it. I don't want that kind of wax.
What kind of wax is that?
Mind the business to pay you over there, and he gonna mind the business to pay him over there. We gonna stay in that lane. We too old for that.
Only THC I know is that recreational stuff that's coming legal. Is that what y'all talking about?
CBD? Is that what that is? CBD? That's
So
what you're talking about?
Now you act like you about 60 sitting over there.
I am old lady. I don't do nothing but drink wine. Look at how
And eat cheese and crackers.
I don't know nothing about all that other stuff, but I know you can make money off of it. I mean, yeah. Is it legal here in North Carolina yet?
Not that I know of. I doubt
I
it.
think
Then
they
what
was
you
trying to
talking about
pass
it
a law.
for?
If it was legal.
Yeah, CBD is very legal.
You mean
Yeah,
that? So
but
that's
CBD
They have
is
they have
different.
more than just smokable CBD though. They have
Right.
like skin
Oils.
products, oils,
Yeah, I
lotions.
got a couple skin products with CBD
They have
oil.
honey, 100% honey, with a little CBD in it, and it's good for...
we wax on honey too.
Right, so it's good. It relaxes you. I'm going to tell you, so the honey, it helps soothe you at night, and it just holds you. So it holds you, I'm telling you. And it's good. So it's good for like if you have a cold or flu and stuff like that.
And
so
aches and
it's
pains
aches and
too,
pains,
yeah.
stuff like that. So we're not talking about the actual getting high going to the moon.
That's what I was about to ask.
Right.
You. Like, do you
We're
have any
talking-
kind of mental? Or...
We talking
Kind of effect like that?
therapeutic type stuff that helps as well.
That sounds great, though. That sounds really great.
I ain't want nobody to think this future city councilwoman was over here showing up at the smokeouts. It's okay, wasn't that type of party.
But I admire you. You just have such a strong personality. Every time I see you, I just always try to make sure I surround myself with positive people, and you just have me cracking up like.
That's the bad part, right? It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing at the same time because everybody know you for being like the one who keep everybody laughing and joking.
Like,
and
when do we take you serious?
when do we take you serious, right? So I'm just
Well,
like,
you took me serious when you started talking about the kids. I really care about.
but you have to try to separate. I'm still one and the same because I'm still TeeTee. I'm still Morticia. I'm still Sergeant Parmon. I'm still all of that because I'm a
you
veteran
did
as
serve in the
well,
military.
right? So I'm one and the same. I'm a wife. I've been with my husband for 25 years. We've been married for 16 years this year. We got a beautiful family, but we go through the same disparities as everybody else. We had, when it rained at Trice, it rained at our house. We had to figure out how to rob Peter pay Paul. We've been at the mountaintop, but we done been down in the valley. We have been in a point where we've lost everything, so you can't be compassionate to neither the people. You've never been a people. You can't tell somebody else how to get from point A to point B. And that's the thing. I'm not here to build bridges to get from one place to the other. They ain't gonna let us over there. Understand that. I don't care how many bridges you're gonna build. We have to build up where we're at. We have to begin to take the seriousness behind when you're talking about affordable housing, when you're talking about healthcare, when you're talking about education, when you're talking about public safety. You can link all that together. People can come up with a master plan, but I don't have one solution to every problem because it takes a collective effort, just like we're doing now, of a round table of people, of like-minded people that can come and say, what are the solutions? What can we do moving forward? Because I will only be one vote sitting on that board. But I'll be the vote that sit there to say, hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me y'all want something on Stratford again? Keyword, again, and we still don't have anything over here. So, Northeast war gonna eat. East war gonna eat. You feel me? with or without them. Sometimes you have to do stuff in spite of people, in spite of others, in spite of obstacles. You have to make your own avenue. You have to be able to say, you know what? Today, we decide that in the Northeast Ward and in the East Ward, we're going to live and not die. We're not going to sit around and just accept what they say. This is what we'll have. This is what we'll be.
See,
we don't see anything greater. We don't know anything greater.
That takes a lot of strength because, us as being black people, we receive backlash for standing up at times. You know what I'm saying? I admire you for, wanting to do that.
But we got backlash for what? For what? For telling the truth. For speaking the truth. You have to begin, and I commend the residents that live in Clemens. And you saying, TeeTee, what are you doing way up in Clemens? We talking about over here in the Northeast Ward. They didn't like how their city council was, or their township was being ran in Clemens. So you know what they did? They flipped the whole board. And everybody up there was new. Because they wasn't doing what the residents in Clemens wanted them to do. Okay? We don't hold our people accountable. We let people come through and give us a whole bunch of empty promises. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to continue to be empty promises because if it wasn't so, then why is it that we have representation that look like us? And in Winston-Salem, the Northeast Ward, 27105, 27106, 27101, we still looking like this.
Well, I got one thing I want to do. He's into politics heavy now. I really don't like to do politics, but I'm getting into it. You got anything you want to ask the city council candidate?
Nah, she impressed me. Like she didn't really know my depth of what it is that I do. So I was just really, once I was found out what she done, I was just really more just sitting back and observe. You know what I'm saying, being observant. But I'm very impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
I've always seen a different side of TeeTee. TeeTee really got my vote. Well, yeah, I should be telling people.
She got mine too. Well, that's good because here's the thing. Just like we were talking earlier about social media. So people follow people. People see what other people do, right?
What is this about the new voting thing about the ID?
So they were saying that we had to have a voter ID. And it was only because they was trying to find another way to discourage black people from voting. Because what happens is a lot of people who in low-income housing can't afford to go and get an ID. Then we have a lot of older people, the older generation, it's like in their 80s and 90s, don't have a birth certificate. So it's hard for them to obtain a voter ID as well. So it was discriminating against the African-American community population. So they ended up having to go back, take it to court. Kudos to the Ministers' Conference, the NAACP, and others that participated in this fight. But now you do not have to have an ID to vote.
Okay,
that's only for right now the primary.
Okay.
Now, it can change for the general, but right now for primary 2020, you do not have to have an ID to vote. I do tell people, make sure you are registered to vote. When you go in there, you get them your name, your address, you cast your ballot.
Okay, and where can they register? Libraries?
So you can register quite a few places. DMV, you can register to vote. The library, you can register to vote. Board of Elections, Social Services will register you to vote. There are people that's walking around right now that will register you to vote. It is very clean cut. It's a form. It takes less than a minute to fill it out. You fill out the boxes that's in pink, which is pretty much your basic. Are you 18? Are you a legal citizen? Your name, your address. Then at the bottom, you sign it. They turn it into board of elections. Within a couple of weeks, you got your voter registration card in the mail. I do encourage people. There's a block number 7. Block number 7 states, what party will you be affiliated with? You can fill out all that pink and you'll get a voter registration card, but your voter registration card will come and say unaffiliated. If you fill out box number 7, that determines whether you're going to be an unaffiliate, a Democrat, a Republican, Libertarian, whatever it is you want to be. Okay, because as an unaffiliate, you're not affiliated with any group, but when you go to the polls, you have to choose a ballot. Are you going to vote on a Republican ballot? Are you going to vote on a Democratic ballot? But you have to choose a ballot that you're going to be voting on. So, you know, it's not a unaffiliated ballot available for anybody.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. And what do you think is going to be an obstacle for you?
My biggest obstacle is letting people know that a potato is a potato. You laughed. I'm so serious. So, you know, you can do a lot of things with a potato. You can make potato salad. You can make fried potatoes and onions, French fries, mashed potatoes, whatever it is you want to do with this potato. But at the end of the day, it's what? It's still a potato. My opposition is still my opposition at the end of the day. So we can continue to do the same things and expect something different, or you can take a chance and vote for change to try something different. We know what it's been like in our area. When I can look and see that in our area is 14 years less life expectancy than any other area in Forsyth County as it relates to our young black men. So you mean to tell me that if I'm 54 years old, somebody else will still live to see 70 and I won't? It's sad. But you're telling me that our children can't read at third grade level. But you're telling me that in the United States of America, Winston-Salem still ranked number 20 in poverty. It's a problem. We had representation for 42 years. I can't take it away from nobody. What I can tell you is, are we living better today than we were 40 years ago? Are we doing better today than we were 4 years ago? You can put another, now I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Y'all can go down there to them polls and y'all can vote to put that back in, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't get the same results. They at the mountaintop. They got what they want. They don't know what it's like to rob Peter to pay Paul. They done been so out of sync for over 40 years that they can't connect to those who are suffering. You talk about a food desert. I live in the Northeast Ward, and the only grocery store we have is the Food Line in Northside Shopping Center. Let's talk about a food desert.
That's very
When
true.
you look over in East Winston, and we talking about a Food Line in East Winston Shopping Center, when you tell young black men and young women, I want y'all to show up at a job interview tomorrow at 2 o'clock, but the only place we have to shop is with urban hip-hop wear. We got problems. Is that the best that we can do? Is a Dollar General and a Family Dollar the best we can do for our people? Where are our healthcare facilities?
So you
for
think
our
the crime
area?
is what discouraged owners, business owners and stuff to open
Why
up
is there
business?
crime? See, come on now. You brought it up. Now I got to sit up here to the table.
Right.
Why do we have crime in our area? Because we lack what we need in our areas. We talking about an area where we have not had a school built in 50 years. We talking about an area where our children go to school and don't have the resources we need in our schools for our children to be able to read, write, and do basic
I'm telling
arithmetic.
you, they were talking about that. They were talking another podcast. I know you heard of Less Desirables. They were talking about the difference in the schools,
right,
in other areas
so,
and in our area.
Let's keep it all the way.
It's very true.
With our people. Let's keep it. Like you say, let's keep it hot. Let's keep it Gucci. Let's keep it 100 with our people. When you're talking about over there at Cleveland Homes, when we talking about Piedmont Circle, we talking about a Durham Crest, we talking about that's a whole little triangle right there. The people that's living in poverty. But you talking about a family of 4 who mama makes $7.50 an hour, who gotta pay rent, pay a light bill, don't have no other support. And then y'all said, well, aren't we crippling them because we give them food stamps and they got Medicaid No, we're not crippling them. You know why? Because they still don't have what they need to survive. They don't have it. When a young man do go to jail at 15, 16 years old and get out and try and get a job, and everybody say, well, go to the SOAR program. If you go through the SOAR program, which is start over after release, then you can go over there and they'll give you a job with the city and they'll help you get your GED and they'll do this, that, that. Everybody don't qualify for it. But I'm hungry today. Understand this. I met a young lady who moved to Winston-Salem with her family. And she came to me and she said, Miss TeeTee, I need your help. I said, baby, what you need? Whatever you need, I got you. Not because I got $1 million bank account or I done made it to the mountaintop and I'm just living my best life. No. But the Bible say, inasmuch as ye have done unto the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me. So when she came to me, she said, I have to go to court. I said, why you got to go to court, baby? She said, I got a job and I needed shoes and didn't have no money. She said, so I had to steal a pair of Crocs. Crocs. You see what I'm saying? Some $5 shoes because they slip-proof, resistant shoes or whatever for her to be able to go to work. Now she got to go to court because what she needed, she didn't have access to. And she didn't know how else to get it. When you talking about families who I get $300 worth of food stamps, cost of living going up, cost of food going up.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
But
We
pay
need more
stay the
programs
same.
for people that, like, I know we have people that need things like these homeless people and things like that, but what about the ones that are trying to better themselves? I don't feel like it's enough programs for people that are trying, like
Stop implementing.
students.
Stop.
You know what
Stop.
I'm saying?
Stop. We're not implementing no more programs. Miss TeeTee said it. You can say TeeTee said it first. We ain't implementing no more programs. Why? We have over 500 nonprofit organizations in Winston-Salem. If you mean to tell me everybody come to the city and get their funding, everybody go to the county commissioners, get their funding, everybody even reach out to the state and get funding for state and federal. Why are our people still hurting? You know why? Because we're still acting like crabs fighting out the bucket. I'm scared one gonna have more than the other one instead of us coming together at the table collectively saying, this is what you can bring to the table, this is what you can bring to the table, this is what I can bring to the table, and we gonna make one boss move and a come up for our people. But I'm too scared that somebody gonna have more than me. We have got to stop being each other's biggest nightmare and enemy. I tell people all the time, every time I look up and see somebody's child has, lost their life or is wounded with a gun or anything of that effect, and I raised my son, because I also have a son. I need y'all to understand that as well. I have a son. And my son will be 25 years old this year. I raised my son not to kill your son. I need you to raise your son not to kill mine. It's all about what we instill and put into our children. We ain't seen no better days. We don't even know better coming because we can't get past what we're going through right now. Where's the hope? Who really care? Who really give a damn? Understand what I'm saying? I care. I give a damn. I done stuff for others that, put myself aside, put my family aside, put everybody aside, because it ain't about me.
Well, I admire you, I respect you, and you got my vote.
Oh, I know I got your vote, boo. Thank you, sugar. So I need
I'm
you to go on
forward to seeing
Facebook.
that, if you get through this candidacy and you become the city council for Northeast, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do for our community.
Oh, I'm going to do something that's going to take y'all out of here because what y'all have to understand is the same thing that I'm going to hold myself accountable because I'm then responsible for every life in Forsyth County, not just the Northeast Ward, but everywhere. I want to be the person that can provide the access to what the people actually need. Not what y'all want. See, y'all better come correct now. We ain't talking about what you want. We talking about what you need. But at the same time, I want y'all to understand with everything in me. I ask every elected official in Forsyth County, what are you going to birth? Don't sit in a position just to hold that position. Don't sit in there just to be a vote, but be able to bring something to the table that's going to help where you represent.
All right. You got it from Miss TeeTee Parmon herself. And we appreciate you so much. And where are you at?
I am running for City Council, Northeast Ward. You can hit me up on Facebook, Parmon for City Council, Northeast Ward. Also, you can follow me on my personal page, Morticia Killian, and my email is parmon4ccne@gmail.com.
She gave you everything but a social security number.
Right.
But I appreciate you so much, and thank you for coming on my Pink Talk podcast. I thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I have a whole totally
enjoyed.
different, and see, that's the whole point, to have a whole totally different perspective of you once you leave here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You really touched some bases about some things, and you gave some factual information about the community that I didn't know, as far as like the poverty level, and as far as about no schools being built. There's a lot of things going
Look
on.
at the fact that we done had 42 years of the same representation. Northeast Ward was with Vivian Burke for 42 years. Every other ward had rotation of people coming through with change. So we got stuck. So now, 2020, you retire, but you put your daughter-in-law in and run in your seat. A Burke is a Burke. I just told you a potato is a potato. I only know how to kill a snake one way. Let's cut the head off and set the body on fire.
That's right.
Let's get it. Let's go.
I know that's right. Well, you don't curve when you go straight for it when you be talking.
That's what you want.
What I just tell you? I ain't putting no tutu on it.
Oh, I thought you were done. I thought we were done.
Oh,
okay. I thought we were done.
No, you didn't wrap it up. You didn't say.
Okay. Well, Mustafa, he's gonna have a new album coming out soon, and but we really appreciate you going to listen to podcast radio. It's going to be on Monday nights at 7 p.m. It's going to be bi-weekly starting off, but then we're going to probably end up going into weekly. But I thank Eric so much for this first episode here. He's going to help me with. He is a wonderful guy. You ever want to get in touch with him? He's on Open Pod. What is that? Open Media Lab. And yes, he's a wonderful guy. You know, I don't speak highly of too many people, but but yeah. And then on the next episode, be listening out for Nathaniel Snipes of Trigane, the self-proclaimed king of the city. Well, he's my king too, my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all for listening. Y'all have a blessed one.